Hi everyone, we are Laurie and Rick. We travel part of the year in our Jayco Greyhawk motorhome. We enjoy discovering new places. There's more roads to travel on, so let's get started on this adventure. Montezuma Castle National Monument is the fourth video in this series. We are staying at Flagstaff, Arizona, at the KOA as our home base. We're going to be sharing with you these 6 videos. Look for the links below and at the end of this video. Coming down from Flagstaff, it's 54 miles to Montezuma's Castle. That day, though, we came down through Sedona. You enter through the visitor center, which is where you pay your fee or you show your pass. Inside is a really nice museum. The park has a 1/3 of a mile paved loop, which is very ADA accessible. Even though this is a small park, it's worth stopping by and just looking at the amazing cliff dwellings 100 feet above the valley floor. The Sinagua people once lived in these pueblos. Despite being called a castle, the dwelling is actually a collection of 20 rooms that belong to multiple families. The reason the color is different on the cliff dwellings is from the reconstruction in 1996 of the face of the structure that was deteriorating badly. They had the Hopi natives, who are descendants of the Sinagua people, doing the restoration. They used the same kind of materials that were used in the original building of the pueblo. They placed the plaster-like material on by hand, like it was done long ago. As the years go by, the color will fade like the old part of the structure. It's a pretty walk through the sycamore trees and listening to the Beaver Creek nearby. Another discovered structure was Castle A, as it's called, was a 45-room pueblo which was 5 stories high. Many artifacts were found when they excavated this area, which helped them date when everything was built. Have you ever wondered how the name came to be at this site? Neither part of the monument's name is correct. When European Americans first observed the ruins in the 1860s, by then long abandoned, they named them for the famous Aztec Emperor Montezuma, in the mistaken belief that he had been connected to their construction. Having no connection to the Aztecs, the Montezuma Castle was given the name due to the fact that the public had this image of Aztecs creating any archaeological site. In fact, the dwelling was abandoned more than 40 years before Montezuma was born and was not a castle in the traditional sense, but instead functioned more like a prehistoric high-rise apartment complex. The Arizona walnut is a hard nut to crack. They ate these nuts and they used the husks when they ground them up for paint, cloth, and hair dye. We ran out of time this day to see some of the other sites that are around here, like Huzagut National Monument, 35 minutes northwest of Montezuma Castle. The pueblo has 100 rooms and sits atop a hill. Another place to visit is Montezuma Well, which is 15 minutes north of Montezuma Castle. There are cliff dwellings along the rim of the well, which is more like a small spring-fed lake, and they have walking trails around it. Another place in the area is Fort Verde Historic Park. Would be fun to see. You click on the next video of Winslow, Arizona. We really appreciate you watching our videos. Come along on the adventures as there's more roads to travel on.